Hey, hey everyone, how are you? Howdy. A little bit of a change to what it is that we're going to be doing this evening because the guy who was going to tell me all about writing a letter to his friend, he rescheduled with me for next Tuesday. So in the thumbnail, you'll see his handwritten letter. Um, and so he sent that to a buddy of his that he grew up with. I don't know if it was like middle school. Um, but he heavily insisted on that guy checking out Hex. We'll have him next week, and then what I was going to do now is just allow you to see a little bit about Twitter Spaces. And if it is that somebody pops in here asking questions in the comments, then let's take those on.
No, just something like that, man. That'd be fucking great.
So this is Twitter Spaces. Pure-blooded
so
Hexicans.
Cool people.
UVEX is talking right now.
All the YouTubers and all that fun shit. And I just really wasn't that active, and I just watched a few things here and talked to friends about it. We're in Montucky, so it's kind of rare to have a bunch of Hexicans in a valley. But
maybe I'll have a topic to branch off of this.
Looking for the next best thing, and then I was told, hey, man, do you got a Twitter account? I was like, I don't do that fucking shit. It's crap. Waste of time. You're like, man, there's a lot of Hexicans on Twitter. I'm like, oh, okay, so you check it out. I had an old Twitter account for some fucking... It was pretty good. Like, a lot of the degenerate NFT shit was released on Twitter before. There was a lot more information and intel on the NFTs on Twitter. So I had an old account. I logged in and found all these crazy motherfuckers, and they can't get rid of me now, even though they try to block me and mute me and kick me out of the room like Christian always does.
That's a lie.
You say you're from Kentucky? I'm right down the road. I'm in Ohio. No, Montucky. It's kind of like Kentucky with mountains. Oh, okay. No, there hasn't, like, what's an example of something that I thought might just go to hell? Well,
So he's talking about how he met Richard Hart
at $25, and then watching it go up to 700, and then dumping some of it, and then it going to shit. And I'm like, oh, dang it. And then I thought Ethereum was really damaged, and I was worried about it. So I that was like a feeling of, oh God, is it going to make it? And not once did I ever feel like that with Hex, because it was a whole different thing to wrap my head around. And I'd already been using decentralized applications and smart contracts through other projects, but this was just simply a bit of code that you couldn't fuck with, which was really interesting to me. And it's like, it is what it is, and people like it, and you couldn't fuck it with it. You couldn't manipulate it. And it was at the perfect time, because right about the time it came out, everybody was starting to realize what was going on in the trading world in crypto. You could only push too far before you realize that the exchanges are working against you. So never really felt at any point in Hex that you had to worry about much. It was just simply a contract. Nice, man. I wish I could get in something early like that. Well, you're still early. You're kind of like, I guess, back to the old Ethereum thing. You right now are like I was at $25 on Ethereum, and all you have to really do is simply hodl. And I tried to be a day trader, and I tried to be all, king shit. And my old man is a traditional finance guy that's really good at that shit. And I was applying all these theories and all this math, and everything was supposed to work. And show me what you're doing. And then he showed me how, he showed me order book spoofing. He's like, they'd go to jail for doing this shit in the real world, and like he picked it all apart and showed me how they were manipulating my trades, how they were fucking with the books and everything else. But you're basically sitting there at $25 Ethereum right now, and all you have to do is hold. You don't have to trade it. I've made so much more. I mean, I've gotten lucky a couple of times doing degenerate shit years ago, but it's everything that I've ever really been wowed with was just simply doing the research, trusting what you're, putting tendies into and just holding on to it. I've even made accidental money before where I forgot I had a bag of wank that turned into something. So yeah, you are early. You're really early. And you're super early for Pulse. It's not even out yet. Pulse X. Yeehaw.
Yeah, what is the difference? I mean, Pulse and Pulse X, which one should I be going for? What's your guys' opinion on that?
Honestly, I think you should be going for Pulse because that's Ethereum. And then basically you got Pulse X sitting there, and that's the trading platform. That's just a fork. So what's going on in here? What are you doing?
Everybody goes one way, go the other way.
Yeah. What is that?
If too many people go crazy for a pulse, then you might pick up some eggs.
Hang on a second.
Check out the comments, guys.
Pulse it is then. Just grab about $500 and hold for a couple of years. I'll be straight, right?
Have you ever heard of DCA, dollar cost averaging?
I have.
Oh shit! Sorry about that, kiddos. So the Pulse is the Ethereum, and then Pulse X is the fork of Uni, and you're just gonna. I mean, if you look at it, it's all on chain. It's all there for you to look at. Look at the ridiculous amount of money that was sacrificed for Pulse X, and then look at the amount of money that was sacrificed for Pulse. So there's already a whole hell of a lot of people with Pulse X, and everybody that has Pulse X, or a lot of people that have Pulse X, really want a lot of Pulse Chain. So I think Pulse is the move. But I also think we were just talking about it earlier. I think that son of a bitch is going to shoot up hard. It's just going to rocket, and everybody's going to hit euphoria. And then a bunch of the bigger wallets are going to say, yeah, I'm satisfied, and they're going to dump it. And what those bigger accounts will do is they'll go to the euphoria state where everybody's talking about it, everybody's euphoric, and everybody's doing TikTok videos of it, and then they dump the shit out of it, and everybody freaks out and they panic, and it goes even lower and lower, and then they buy it back, and then it starts to recover. So that's just a thought. I've seen that a few times happen over the years, so maybe.
Yeah. One thought could be, though, that we got rid of a lot of the hex dumpers, but we didn't get any of the pulse chain dumpers. So I got my eye on hex as well, because if everybody's stampeding one way and then they're about to dump on you, perhaps you wait for that dump and you might get it goes up like what he's saying, the ratio to hex might become very attractive if pulse chain runs up too high too fast, and you might ratio into hex at that point.
That would be very nice. Yeah, I would always buy Hex. If Hex gets cheap, hells yeah, I always want more Hex.
I always get nervous because that Hex market cap looks like it's crazy high. Like, how in the hell can it get much higher?
Don't trust market cap. That's a fallacy.
Yeah, always look at different sources too. CoinMarketCap is owned by CZ, who's controlled by the Chinese Communist government, tinfoil hats on. But I believe that company is wholly owned by Binance. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they do. And yeah, so if you own an exchange and you want a bunch of people to start trading like degenerate gamblers in a casino that's pumped full of oxygen, then you're going to want to have the books kind of cooked a little bit too. So CoinMarketCap has held Hex at number 201 for what, over a year and a half now? It's been quite a while, but we actually have fucking coffee mugs I found out last night. Coffee mugs, hats, and t-shirts that say number 201. And it's hilarious to people who actually know math.
So, Jeremy, if market cap mattered, did you see when Hex in January and then in 2? How could it do that from, $10 billion to $50 billion within a couple months with a community that's only 300,000 people putting in thousands of dollars, right? So it's a hard way to measure things and get any cut. What you're thinking about is movement up. A market cap is not a good measurement of a coin that can have a movement up. For studying that, you're going to have to look into liquidity pools and the ability of a liquidity pool to create the price, because you're talking about pricing that. And the price comes from a liquidity pool on Uniswap, the market cap.
Gotcha. Sorry, I was dealing with my kids, but I heard you. Thank you.
So if there's only, let's say, 100 million Hex for sale, although there is, 580 billion Hex, if there's only 100 million for sale and they're all in a contract, Hex can move up 500% or 1,000% if people are trying to fight for that 100 million Hex, basically. So it treats basically like a tiny micro cap stock.
If you want to see how much is available in the different pools, you can go to Dex Screener. And Dex Screener will show you all the different liquidity pairs in Hex. And then you can get an idea of how much is available for trade. And you can kind of get a feel for how much is going to be available. So, like you said, it's only price is relative to what's for sale and how much it's going for. It's not the overall, all the coins possible. If it went from a penny to 13 cents, how many trillions would it take in dollars to get it up there if you go off the market cap that was listed? And then you have the OA that's never being touched, and that's there to kind of protect us. It hasn't had to be used, but it's a feature, not a bug. So there's a lot of different weird things going on with this that I kind of like. It's never been done before.
But simply put, if there's 100 million X for sale and X is 10 cents, that's only $10 million. So that's a tiny market cap. And that's why we say you're still early. So.
All righty. Well, I'm going to wait till Pulse Chain comes out and then throw some more money at it.
Throw some more money at it now and get a double.
Double on a double. Good luck to you, buddy. I hope you do really well with your hex takes.
Yeah, I only got 200 in each of them. So, like you said, hey, it may grow a little bit.
You got a 5-year take?
Yeah, 5 and a 15. I threw 200 apiece at them. I think actually a year ago, I think it was a year ago when I threw it in there. I didn't know shit about crypto, and I just saw it, and I was like, fuck it, I'll give it a try.
You're 20% in on that 5-year stake.
Hell yeah. a 5555. It's going to make your head spin.
That's crazy. I'll probably forget about it by then. That's what I'm nervous about.
Yeah. Well, make sure your kin and everybody else knows that it's somewhere, and have it, if you kick the bucket, your kids get it or whatever.
My theory is your interest in all of this grows here soon, and you do more involvement.
For sure. I did put 1,500 in a coin of 500 just fairly recently. But they could be shit coins, so I don't know.
That's a nice thing. Like, a lot of us here have dealt with all the shit coins and all that fun stuff for years, and this is just really nice because it's something clean and it's a lot more pure for us. It's not going to be. We're going to see a lot of shit coins coming out on Pulse Chain, but Hex is simply a code. It works. 100% uptime. No lying. No cheating. No stealing. No bullshit. The only thing you can really do with Hex is fuck up your security and lose it, or like do it an early end stake and nuke your fucking and nuke your supply. But yeah, it's just, you don't have to sit there and worry about this and worry about that. It's like the Ronco fucking oven. You just set it and forget it.
Well, good deal. Well, I appreciate your guys' time. I'll let you get back to chat. I got to get off of here and get my kids to bed.
Right on, man. Have a good night. Good talking with you.
I've noticed there's been 2 Hexagon rooms open lately. What's with that?
Lately,
And talk about Chia and see what happens. Show some Zen, see what happens.
I see. All right. Feel free to speak about Hedronicosa. Icosa's doing quite well right now for me. Also available for commercial.
okay, I need to, now that there's a subject change, let's transition. So I'll just leave that down there. I'll exit out of the room here on the computer. This is good practice for me. Leave the space there. This is Christian, the host of the space. He likes to host spaces, and so he's really taken initiative. Trying to do it from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Central Time every day. Goodness. All right, so what does it take to host a space? You just need working electronics and maybe stay awake. Maybe not. Maybe your co-host will help you out. But the reason why I am here in front of you today is because we have some members over at the Crypto Dividends group on meetup.com. It used to be called multiple other things like Texan Crypto or Austin area millionaire, crypto millionaire, something like that. But the latest name is Crypto Dividends. I am Eco Builder inside the Hex community, and I am a no bullshit kind of person. So that's why I love Hex so much, is because, like Uvex was saying, it's clean. You establish an agreement with a contract, so you're able to earn yield on your existing crypto. So you acquire some crypto, you submit that crypto, and you get more crypto back after a time period. And you decide the time period and you decide how much. Isn't that awesome? And because we're talking about finances, it's a slippery subject for a lot of people, or maybe it's a rigid subject. Maybe it's that it doesn't hold doesn't hold very well. So I'm participating in ways of marketing the hex. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I get better at having conversations with people, appealing to people, because it's an awesome product. It's just that it doesn't have any salesmen because it's a decentralized product. So there it is. How do you get to it? How are you going to get to that? Through education. So I'm here. Take all the interpersonal readings that you need to. And if you don't like me, I'm not offended. Ask somebody else. I'm just fine with that. I've got tons of websites to refer you to, and friends, and Twitter Spaces. So join Twitter, enter Twitter Spaces. It's a fun thing. It's a little bit of a dumpster fire. So come and go as you feel. But my mouth has been running on and on. What's up, Academiated? Good evening. So my mouth has been running in front of my brain lately. We've got 2 new members to the Cryptos Dividends meetup group in the Austin area. And I'm going to post this video there. And I just captured a little bit of Twitter Spaces. The first thing on the agenda, or the only thing on the agenda, fell through because I had this idea last night, and we're actually going to reschedule for next week. So next Tuesday, I'll have David here talking about his handwritten letter to his childhood friend about how interesting Hex is and how it's a big deal and he needs to pay attention to it, accompanied with a business card. A business card that looks identical to this. Sweet. So I will catch y'all back next week. Once again, everybody's welcome to come on to Twitter Spaces and have voice conversation, or witness the intellect verbally being spewed from the Hexicans. Cheers. Oh yeah, and later on this evening, I will be hosting at 10:45 p.m. this evening. Today is 4/4/2023, so April 4th, 2023. I will be hosting something called Just the Tip Hex News, and it will probably take place for 25-35 minutes, something like that. But it's a time period where I give awesome Hexicans with tons of enthusiasm. And so you can learn from this, but you can also be inspired from this. I give them the mic for a minimum of 3 minutes each. They go back to back, and they're instructed not to be rhetoric amongst each other. Instead, each one of them is free to decide what it is off the top of their head that they share their perspective with the community. And I think it's an awesome mosaic of pieces. And so I will also be recording that. So just the tip on YouTube. What's up, Crypto King? Crypto King's in the comments, and so is Academiated. Say hello to both those people when you watch this rerun. Cheers.